Rebecca Amelia Malici was a problem child. The third daughter of King Jarrell and Queen Ariane, she always knew she would never rise to the same stature as her two elder sisters, Eleanor and Sarah. She would spend her childhood days causing trouble for all the royal retainers, eventually having to be locked away from royal events when one of her so-called pranks hospitalized 3 diplomats who were visiting from off-world. Because of her rebellious attitude, she was shipped away from the family home and sent to a far boarding school in the hope of teaching her etiquette and manners. But no one could quell the seething urge for power she lusted for. Separated from her family, she began plotting. When she returned to the public eye, she would take control, rule over this planet, and everyone would love her. Hello everyone, CarnasaGames here, and welcome back to the 7th episode of this series, The Kingdom of Beck. I hope you enjoyed that little bit more of an introduction to Beck just then. But yeah, let's get straight on with this and let's see what we can do this episode. We obviously need to get a little bit more of this built up. That should hopefully all happen soon as someone kind of comes along and actually, you know, cuts these stone chunks to size into blocks. What we also need to really kind of get focusing on is I've kind of been ignoring it for the past few episodes just so we've got people actually doing stuff. Beck could do with getting back on that research bench and using her intellectual skills to really kind of progress our magnificent society. We are a very advanced society, or we hope to be, so let's have a quick look in here and see what we can do. I think one thing I really want is solar panels, because obviously when the wind stops blowing, we are going to be losing all of our power, and we really could do with having kind of a backup source of electricity. And then after that, I really honestly have no idea what we're going to be researching, because as you can see from this research screen, there is an awful lot that we could get on with. We've got androids, we've got genetic rim that we could kind of delve into and see what we could get done. We've got just general robots, and there's basically a lot. We've got Rimfella and Rim Atomics, both of those. So we could go into oil, or we could go into nuclear power. So we have options. We have a lot of options. Yeah, let's speed this up. Everyone has a job that they're doing. Agent and Rose are asleep purely because at the end of last episode, I left them drafted. And of course, at the end of last episode, we had Stanley the girl who attacked our colony. Unfortunately, we managed to bring her down, and I had a quick look at her prisoner stats and set her to be recruited. It looks like it's not going to take very long to recruit her at all. We've got a recruitment chance of 100%. She's only got 3 resistance remaining. So if we have a quick look in our work, actually, who is set to Warden? Beck, I think we want you to Warden before you prioritize researching. Because we want Stanley. We want Stanley up and about and able to help out in the colony as much as she possibly can. And Beck has gotten food poisoning, probably from the veggie mush that she cooked. And I mean, veggie mush doesn't sound particularly appealing, does it? I can't imagine it's tasty. And oh, what? Once again, we have rain in the desert. Yes, I'm not entirely sure why that's happened. I don't think there are any fires around, but we're going to delight in the rain because you never know, it might help out our crops. Not that they really need much helping at the moment. If you can see in our little freezer section, we have a lot of food, and that is going to be very, very, very nice because, well, it looks like we're at the point now where we're not going to suffer defeat at the hands of starvation. We've got more than enough food to last our 4, soon to be 5 colonists for a good while. Like, we've got 150 potatoes, even more carrots, so yeah, that should last us a very long time. It would appear we have severely screwed up Rose and Agent's sleeping pattern. They have been up all night once again, hopefully we can get that fixed at some point soon. But it looks like in our little production area, we have managed to get ourselves a electric loom installed and an electric tailor bench. So as soon as this cotton grows, we are going to be able to actually make use of it and hopefully make our settle. I forget this every time. I really need to kind of stick to a word. Our subjects. We are going to stick with subjects. Subjects, we are a kingdom, and subjects I feel like is going to be the best word to describe the people who live with us. Yes, we can make our subjects as many clothes as they so desire. And let's have a look. Oh, Beck's impressiveness has gone up to decent, but we can kind of do that with more places around here. And we do need to focus on actually building a bedroom for Stanley when she... I'm going to forever forget that. I am so used to Stanley being kind of like a male name. But yes, we can put one of those in there, and we will make this very nice for you. We will get some standing lamps in too, just so you can kind of see when you're in there. And yeah, that's looking very nice. I think we want to maybe get this common room set up today as well, just so our subjects, they have somewhere that they can go, maybe shoot some pool, you know, chill out, chat, or set up a dartboard. We will be able to do all of that as soon as we get that cotton in, because that's going to be the defining the thing that holds us back. We need that cotton. We need to turn it into cloth before we can build anything like pool tables and all of those nice things that are going to make our colonists really happy. That room is now actually officially blocked off, so let's get a door in there quickly so we can actually make use of it. And I still have no idea what that's going to be. I'm sure I will think of something eventually. I think we might need to up the power on our outside aircon unit, because if you look, these little blue lines have gone down quite dramatically. That is most likely due to this walk-in freezer unit, because that uses a lot of what this thing can provide. But we do want to kind of put in some aircon units elsewhere, just so everyone is nice and comfy. I think we'll get one there. That will probably do us for now. And would you look at that? I have talked all the way through the night. Everyone is back up again. We've got a medical goods trader. That might be useful. We've got 30 medicine already. We haven't actually had to use any of that yet. And, well, quickly there, it looks like Stanley's resistance has been taken down from 1.4 to 0.1. So we should see Stanley as a lovely member of our society relatively soon. But this also apparently requires power. I did not know that. Let's get some power conduits up around here. And we still seem to be suffering from food poisoning, which is a little bit unfortunate. But Beck, ever the socialite, there is a group of people coming to visit us. She wants to go outside and she wants to talk to them. And let's have a look at what they are offering us. Neutroamine, which is obviously a very important component in making medicine later on. Nano kits, herbal medicine. They seem to have quite a lot of stuff for sale. And those nano kits are actually, they're quite cheap. Oh, they're for repairing androids. Cool, I did not know that. I suppose, no, androids wouldn't use standard medicine, would they? Medicine seems... I could have sworn medicine was more expensive than this in the base game. Maybe we've got a mod that cheapens it, or maybe the base game just cheapened it. I don't know. They are going to buy some stuff from us. I think I'm actually going to sell them all of my carrots, because that gives us 123 silver back, and we have got quite a lot of food at the moment. So yes, we will sell the carrots. Bye-bye carrots. You were thought of very fondly in our society. You went into all of the Vegemush, and I imagine Vegemush with carrots is just literal mashed carrot. We probably could do with getting some nicer meals for our colonists. And I have noticed Agent quite a lot of the time. He does seem to struggle with having a job to do. So what we might do is, say down here, we'll set another 6x10 growing zone, and we will use that to grow some different kinds of food that can make our meals a little bit nicer. But that's something that's just come up. We have quest active, the rescue of Giles. Giles, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Giles contacts you. Giles sounds more kind of like a butler. He definitely is a butler on this Rimworld. Kind of like Jeeves, but not Jeeves. He is Giles. Giles contacts you and requests help. He is wounded and unable to move. Giles is a 127-year-old foundry worker. He promises to join you if you rescue him. Giles says that there may be an unknown threat. He is a Tier 1 android. Tier 1 androids generally aren't particularly good. I mean, we can have a look on the world map and we can see where he wants us to rescue him from. Be warned, loading screen incoming. Actually, no, let's edit that out in post-production. And there you go, due to the magic of video editing, you did not have to suffer through that actually rather short loading screen. But Giles seems to be quite far away. Well, I mean, he is relatively close, but if you look at this, we have to go over a rather large mountainous area to actually get to him. So I think considering he is only a Tier 1 android, and that is quite a bit of a trek, I think, unfortunately, Giles, we are going to leave you to die. I hope you aren't offended by that. Well, the baking sun soars over this desert. And yes, it is another morning indeed. And I think one thing that we really kind of want to start focusing on today is actually building up our perimeter wall, because we need the defense and we need to start thinking about actually defending our colonists, because the threats, they're not particularly bad at the moment. Like that manhunter and that raid that we had was not particularly dangerous. We are going to be suffering from more dangerous threats in the foreseeable future. And would you look at that? Stanley is now part of the colony. She is an official member of the Kingdom of Beck. She is another loyal subject. Beck spoke to her, offered her her hand, and basically said, "You want to join us? We are amazing. We have a large black castle in the middle of the desert. We have running water, we have hot water, we have wind power, we have everything that you could possibly want in a colony." So Stanley, being enticed by these words, obviously accepted and was like, "Yes, sure, that sounds absolutely wonderful. I will join your fantastic kingdom and I will help you out in any way that I can." Unfortunately, Stanley is, she's not very good at shooting, which I would have rather have had, but we can get her to equip this plasteel knife, and we have ourselves a brawler. So she can, basically, when this kill box works, if we have her stood somewhere here, when they all come running in, what we can do is we can, yes, just make sure that she's there when they come running in. She can stab them with her little stabby shiv that she's got going on. Well, that's all being constructed. It would be nice to get some of these chunks done a little bit quicker. What I might do is reinstall this over here, just so it's a little bit closer to these slate chunks that we've got going on here. Yes, I did notice another thing. We've got a farming goods trader. So, Beck, get away from that research table and come over here and chat to them. We have had all of the traders this episode, it would appear. Everyone is coming along and they want to have a bit of trade action with our nation. Let's have a look at what they've got. They seem to have a lot of animals. I don't think I'm going to want to buy any Yorkshire Terriers. They seem to be a bit of a waste of money that we can't really afford at the moment. Will they sell us anything that we do actually need? No components, no steels. They do want to buy off of us though. They will buy our grilled steak, not that we really want to get rid of that. And yes, I mean, they're selling eggs that are unfertilized. We don't particularly want to buy those. We would rather buy fertilized eggs and actually kind of set up our own chicken farm. So I'm sorry, people from, I'm not actually sure where you're from, but Ignacio, we are going to have to turn down your wonderful, wonderful trade deal. This trade deal is currently not on the table. It's a no deal from us. You've basically got nothing we want, and we've got nothing that we can sell to you that we want to get rid of. But that's been moved over there. Now, do I need to reset up bills? Yes, I do. Is it still going to be... Yes, it's the ingredient radius thing kind of stays, which is nice. And it looks like our hill route has come through. So I'm fairly certain I made that hill root after I made that cotton, so hill root actually takes longer to grow than cotton. Huh. Who'd have thought? So what I want to do in this area is I want to actually make this 2 growing zones, and I think we're going to make one as something fun, something for our colonists to take the edge off a bit. How about beer? Hops. Yes, we are going to get some hops planted in there so we can create beers for our colonists, and we can maybe that common room, I think what we might do is we might turn it into a bit of a bar, something like that. We can put some stools in there as well as a pool table, all of those kind of things, and make it yes, somewhere very nice for our colonists to chill out. And over here, what I think I might do... Actually, I think we're getting enough food at the moment. I definitely think food's not an issue. So let's make some tobacco. So they can. It's a smokers area bar here. They can go in and they can smoke their cigarettes. They can drink their drinks. They can play some pool, and they can have a wonderfully good time. Who knows? Maybe eventually we'll turn it into a bingo hall as well. Because obviously Camdatus, who has now since left us, desperately craved the bingo, which we were unable to give her, and I don't know why there is a veggie mush meal on the floor. That could do with picking up, please. It would appear an animal has come in and eaten all of our crops, but we have also run out of potatoes for now. But we've got more carrots. There we go. So, yes, food is definitely not going to be an issue for the foreseeable future, which is a nice thing to not have to worry about. We do not want to starve our colonists. We are going to have to move this wind turbine out of the way relatively soon. Not yet. What I will do is I will save this bit for the very last so we can build up everything before we actually have to kind of reinstall stuff. Because it's a little bit of a shame we can actually only deconstruct that, which I think means we don't get as many of the resources back as we would. And I've just realised I've not actually done set Stanley's kind of all of this stuff. She won't doctor. Let's set everyone to haul urgently as one as well. What is she actually good at? She's good at mining, so we will set you to be a miner. Good at quarrying, so we will set you to do that. Are you very good at crafting? Because we kind of do need someone that is going to be able to make us weapons and all of that kind of good stuff. Beck is kind of, but she's not particularly brilliant. And here we join our settlement once again, and that is something I would rather not have happened. It seems like we are out of power. That's really bad, but we can get these solar generators in now as a backup to our wind turbines. And I think what we will do is we will place them one away from the wall like that and like that. Yes, we'll get a couple of them in. That should be enough for us now. We need this wind to pick up though, because we do not want all of our spood to spoil. But that power solar panel thing, I forget words come to me. Yes, that solar power looks like it has been kind of set in place already, and I don't know why you've just left that. Is it because you don't have enough steel? Rose, please prioritise constructing that. That is far more important at the moment. And let's get the other one done in as well, and that should really, hopefully, sustain our colony for quite a while to come. This little room here seems like it is just turning into a bit of a battery room. Let's have a look. What's it like temperature-wise in here? It's rather warm. So as this is not actually connected to anything useful. We could put a vent in there, but it would be very cold. Let's do that. Let's move the aircon in and connect that up to the system that we've already got going. We're going to place some vents around just to make sure that everywhere is a decent temperature for all of our colonists. And of course, once again, I have built some aircon pipes there, so I can't do that right yet. That's a little bit annoying. Well, over the course of the night, our very, very fine princess decided to be a little bit of a naughty girl. She has had a bit of a mental break and wants to consume all of the food that we have. I'm not entirely sure what made her so unhappy. Let's have a quick look. Filthy and tired. She stopped eating for some reason. So we got a little message up saying starvation. And I'm not entirely sure why that happened because we have plenty of food. So that's a little bit annoying, Beck. Please eat when you can. Because we would rather you not go on these mental breaks because we need you to actually do work. And one thing that I think we do also need to do, we need to get someone to clean up this area. Stanley, as our newest recruit, you are going to be set as the dedicated cleaner. Because if we look here, this is absolutely filthy. There is vomit on top of sand, on top of more sand. There is sand everywhere. There is rubble for some reason. Yes, the inner workings of the castle are looking particularly gruesome today, and it would be very, very nice, Stanley, if you could don your maid's outfit. I tried to say uniform and outfit at the same time there. If you could don your maid's uniform and go around and make sure everything has been cleaned up. Because this is a castle after all, it needs to be pristine. I don't think it's going to be like one of those fancy kind of fairy tale castles. This is more currently like a medieval castle from the middle of England. It's, you know, dingy, dark, and just a bit gross. Well, it's not dark. We have actually lit everything up. Only just, though, our power reserves seem to be just about holding after installing those new solar panels in. We might need to produce some more batteries to actually keep this whole thing lit up and running correctly. And once we get turrets into the mix and all of that, which we will do to protect our colonists, yeah, we really could do with potentially getting a better form of power generation. And I might go to Rimworld for that, which is one of the mods that I'm playing with. We are in a desert. We are going to prospect for oil and use that oil to power up our mighty, mighty, mighty nation. And it is looking a lot more mighty now. Now that the actual structure of the castle is finished, it looks a hell of a lot nicer, and it really is starting to come along. Beck finally has finished pigging on food, and that's another thing that we can do. We did finish those solar panels, so we can start researching something different. I'm not entirely sure what I want to go for, because I think what we will do, actually, we will have a look at turrets, because I know to get gun turrets, there is a lot to research before. So if we research turret, which is over here, yes, you can see smithing, machining, gunsmithing, blowback operation, gun turrets. So once we get all of this done, we can actually start producing our own weapons. And Agent has got a assault rifle at the moment, but we would like maybe other people to have some decent weapons as well, because we are kind of limited on what we do have. But we will get those machining tables in. That research bench will get done. We will get those machining tables in a future episode, because that's all the time I have for now. But if you have enjoyed this video, please do go and give it a like. If you have really enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing. And I have been CarnasaGames, and I will see you all later.